Hey everyone. For this week's video, I'm going to be comparing 3 different companies' starter ant products. I'm going to be comparing the Antscanada Hybrid Nest Mini, which is their smallest actual nest, the Tar Heel Ants Mini Hearth, which is pretty well known to the community, and the Tar Heel Ants Size 1 acrylic nest. I'm going to be giving each product a rating out of 10 for each category. First is the material made out of, the second is what you get for the cost, the third is how habitable they are from my experience, and the accessories that come with each nest. I hope you all enjoy this week's video. Now let's start off with the Ants Australia Waitong nest. Now the Waitong material specifically, I've found over the year or two I've had this nest, is very hard to clean. Now this is because you can see in the upcoming shots that there are a bunch of little micro holes inside of the Waitong, which ants fill with dirt, and they also are prone to mold, so that is kind of a downside for this material. Although on the other hand, it does soak up water well, and it also does keep in the humidity. So for material, I would probably rate this about a 6.5. There's definitely better out there. Now, for those of you who may know, Ants Australia actually does have a new line of Waitong nest. That is not the one I am reviewing here. I have the older version, but it does not make much of a difference because the material nest is still the same. Ants Australia also does have the acrylic version of their products, but here I'm reviewing the Waitong version, but just for a disclaimer, the acrylic version is a lot better in my opinion. I'd say that the habitability of the actual nest itself is good. It's just that if you do not clean it properly, which is really hard, then there is a lot of mold that can spread. The cost of the founding nest by itself without any accessories is $45. Now in my opinion, this price is a bit too steep. Like for instance, all you have to do really is get a little bit of sponge, carve out a piece of fire brick and paint it. So why is it $45? Also, this is not including an outworld, or a red shield, or even the thing to water the nest, I don't think anyway. There might be a syringe in there. But the outworld is another, I think, $30 to $40 thing. So in my opinion, unless if you have a lot of money, the Ants Australia nest is not the way to go with cost. Now they actually do have a $55 version of this, which comes with 2 plastic test tubes, the syringe, the Allen key, some vinyl tubing, a pair of plastic tweezers, and 2 plastic vials. Now I'm pretty sure the original version that's $45 actually does come with the Allen key and the syringe, because if it didn't, that would be kind of a ripoff, because you couldn't even water the nest or take it apart. So I would rate the cost a 6 and the accessories a 7.5. Now here are the Antscanada Nests. This is the smallest version they have, which is pretty large, which we'll get into in a minute. But the Antscanada's actual material is not good because it is just plastic. Now, watering the nest is pretty strange. You have to put some water through the back here, and it comes through holes in one side of the nest, which they claim actually has different amounts of humidity. But from what I've heard from some experienced ant keepers is that the humidity is always too high because there's not enough ventilation, and the plastic material is just not. Cleaning dirt through the water holes is also extremely difficult, so I would rate this nest about a 5 for material. Now the other 2 nests have something going for them where they have a founding size nest. Now you could say that the Antscanada test tube portal is a founding size nest, but it's just a bunch of test tubes connected together. If I were them, I would change the material, and I would also make them the nest smaller. Just have a better variety of nests and not just a small version and a big version. Now the cost of this nest is actually only $27, so if you have a bit of a budget and you have a colony that actually can fit the size of this nest, then I would recommend picking it up. Now as for the accessories, it comes with a few things like stoppers and tubing for the nest, but it does not come with anything like tweezers, so I would give this accessories about a 7. Now, last but not least, is the Tar Heel Ants mini hearth. So, I'm not exactly sure what the material is in this thing. I'm pretty sure it's some sort of plaster. Tell me in the comment section below if you know. But I know that it does not mold very easily, based on experience. It also holds water very easily, and depending on how much you water the nest, you can basically just choose how much water you want the nest to soak up. And also, it has a good amount of humidity that it can hold, depending on how much you water it. So I would give the material an 8. Now, for habitability, I would give it around a 8 as well. Now on to the cost. So, as you can see with the Tar Heel Ants mini hearth, unlike the other two, is that it has an outworld attached to it. Now this outworld has ventilation, it opens up, and the actual nest only costs $35. So the cost also can vary depending on if you want to change the color, the glass, the decor, the I guess the stalactites on the ceiling. So I would give the cost a 9. Now, the accessories also pertains to what I just said. The outworld, you can change the sand, you can change the interior sand, you can change the decor. Like if you want to add a rock, you can message him specifically. It might cost a little bit more. But you can also take off the glass in the front with magnets, which is also a very good addition. So I would give the accessories a 9. Now, here's a bit of a disclaimer about everything I've talked about today. The score that you could get if you had a very flawless nest would be 40 points. So Antscanada got a 25. Now, although the actual price tag is pretty good along with the accessories, the parts that matter, like the material and the humidity, are pretty bad. The Ants Australia Waitong nest is not very far ahead of the Antscanada nest because its material and price tag really sets it back. Although, Ants Australia does have an acrylic version, which I would rate a lot higher than 27. Now, the Tar Heel Ants mini hearth got a 33 out of 40. I probably could have actually rated everything a good amount higher, like maybe 5 points or something, because the cap is 40. But the Tar Heel Ants mini hearth is probably the best of what you can get right now, because it has an outworld that you can change the decorations in. And it is included with the actual purchase of $33, while the other two have outworlds that cost as much, if not more, than the actual nest. It also has a better material which can soak up water to the amount you like, and as well as humidity, and you can change the actual interior design of the actual nest if you email him. So that about sums up this video. Thank you all for watching. If there's something you think I missed, then tell me in the comment section below. Again, thanks everyone for watching, and I will see all of you next Sunday. Peace.